Hello, it's Annabelle Beckwith, Training Course Expert. For the next few minutes, I would like you to think about the question, do you actually need a training course at all? Or is it something else? Now, I'm aware as I say that, it probably sounds like I'm trying to commit career suicide, but no, it's a really important question to consider. Now, here's some of the things that I've noticed, and this is why I'm asking you to consider this. Sometimes I've been asked to work with small, medium-sized organisations, perhaps family-run companies, or maybe one where an entrepreneur has started on their own and now has built up a bit of a team around them. And I might be asked to go in and work with the team on team building, or on having performance management conversations, on giving feedback and this sort of thing. Now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with going in and delivering a workshop on those generic skills. Those managers will benefit from learning about best practice in those areas. However, sometimes it becomes clear on doing a bit of digging and asking a few questions that maybe the company strategy actually isn't that clear or isn't being clearly communicated to those managers. In some instances, one might discover that actually there aren't really very robust key performance indicators, KPIs for these particular things, in which case those managers will have those skills, but they're still working in a bit of a vacuum. The KPIs and the strategy really need to come first before you try and fix other people to work within that strategy. In other instances, I've worked with larger organisations where the problem isn't training, or the answer simply isn't training. What can I tell you? So, as a case in point, I was asked to deliver a program for an organisation on training their customer service team on how to handle difficult customers, difficult conversations on the phone, angry people, potentially abusive people. Never a very nice thing to have to deal with. So again, nothing wrong with having that program and working with people to build their skills, build their resilience in dealing with this type of difficult conversation. However, in this one instance, it became clear that customers were all complaining about the same thing. And it was the dispatch of either faulty goods or an inaccurate dispatch from the factory. The wrong consignment, the wrong colour, the wrong number, whatever. Now, to my mind, that organisation would have been far better to either alongside the training or even instead of the training, not to focus their efforts on making sure that the customer service staff knew how to handle angry customers, sort the problem out in the factory so that the dispatches are accurate in the first place and there's less cause for complaint. It may be that these two things go hand in hand, but sometimes I can't help feeling that organisations will just go send them on a training programme because they think that's the easy option, because other things, actually articulating a strategy, implementing some sort of change, reassessing KPIs, it is a change. People are uncomfortable with change. Maybe the easier thing is to paper over the cracks, send them on a training program, and maybe that's not the right thing to do. So if you're wanting to write a training program for a client, or even if you're within an organisation and you've been asked to write a training program, really consider, is this the best way to address the issue at hand? If it is, fantastic. If there's something else that's required, actually, ethically, you owe it to your organisation or to your client to say there's something else that you should be considering here. And if you consider these things, your training program is going to be far more successful and give you a much better return on your investment than if you just try to launch into the training program on its own. Ask yourself the question. Really ask yourself your question, do you actually need a training program? Does it need to be complemented by something else?